So, the recap for what happened last time, which was quite a bit. Firstly, you had arrived in the town of Ayapo. You decided to not stay at an inn, but instead found somewhere just out in the streets, covered to sleep for the night. Fortunately, it was Finrez, who was on the first watch, and fell asleep, and you all just had a long rest.
Do you want to switch seats?
I just need
I forgot about my failures.
But upon waking up, the party split into 3 groups. First, there was Skull and Retorts, who headed off towards the blacksmith. Mundi headed off towards a guild to sell some furs so he could have some money, as he had spent the last of his. And Finrez had went to the marketplace to try and gather information. Skull and Retorts, Skull had a particular time testing out every single weapon at the shop, and they eventually left one half of the door to be processed and agreed to come back in 3 days to see the results and potentially have a weapon crafted out of it. Mundi made his trade and eventually made his way to the marketplace to find Finrez gambling away. He was currently on a hot streak at that point, but by the time Retorts and Skull caught up to the group, Finrez had lost it all. The 2 of you also partook in some gambling. Retorts went immediately into debt, traded off his long sword, so he would no longer be in debt. Skull participated in a different kind of game, and by the end of the gambling session of the night, the only ones who came out on top were Mundi and Skull. Retorts broke even, and Finrez lost it all. You then headed to a place called Mystical Marvin's. Oh wait, it's Marvin's Mystic. He is Mystical Marvin. But
I can dig it.
Where you got inside, saw all different kinds of trinkets and magical items, and you left with one more item than you entered with, only to the knowledge of 2 characters.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You got a particular stein off a shelf.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You did black out during the moment, but
I did black out.
You did voluntarily stuff it in your pocket.
I don't know how it got in my hand, so therefore it must have been mine.
Did I walk in with this?
And then the 4 of you left, and Finrez had managed to at one point get very detailed directions on how to get to the tower, so at least you had that for when you left town. Shortly after leaving town, you came upon a site of roughly 10 floating boulders, and after trial and error of attempting to take a boulder of your own, you eventually left with no additional stones, as they proved too difficult to obtain.
Impossible to obtain.
Yes. It was mere moments after that that you ran into a wild feral cat and refused to leave until you tamed at least one of them.
Yeah.
But after doing so, you eventually made your way to the Shear's Tower to find an overgrown infestation of vines. Made your way to the tower. May have decided to dissect something along the way, but details. And eventually took down the being that was controlling the rest. Upon which you ransacked the tower, found all the goods you could, and attempted to solve some sort of puzzle before turning in for the night.
We spent like 8 years on that fucking puzzle.
So, we are at the moment where you had all decided it would be time to just call it a night. Are you wanting to do shifts? You seem like you're in a rather friendly environment. The Blights seem to either not care that you're there, or just accept. And some even seem willing to just help, like the Twig Blights were helping you clean up the place.
Honestly, I think we'll be pretty alright. I don't think we need to keep a watch. What do you guys think?
Should be safe.
I think I'm digging a hole in the garden to sleep in.
You gonna sleep outside?
Watch where you dig, because there
the
might be
garden.
some bodies out there.
Yeah.
They're in. You saw them bury the dead in the.
Yeah, I'm gonna
The
clearly
garden
do
out
it in
back.
a clear patch of land in the garden.
So Skull's gonna sleep outside, anywhere particular, in the front, to the side, in the
The
back.
garden, wherever the garden was.
There were 2 bedrooms. If either you decide you wanted to sleep in one of those.
Yeah, I'll sleep in one of the bedrooms. Dibs, I call a bed.
I call her.
Hey, Monday
Question
probably
is,
couldn't even fit in their own bed, could he?
which bedroom would you call?
Is there more than one bed in either bedroom?
Well, no, there's one bed in each bedroom, but
Do you want to call the one he's called?
do you want to call the one where you dissected the poor little twig blight?
Sure.
Monster.
Nothing but good memories here.
Sleep in your shade.
Alright. You all take your place to sleep. And night falls. Now, I would like each of you to roll an initiative.
Who?
All 3 of you.
An initiative.
I need a dice.
Something's gonna happen, and I want to figure out which order I'm doing it in.
I don't want this to
11.
Fuck. Fuck your dice, Ben.
You can try with this one.
Try with that one. I vote that one.
What'd you get?
This was the first one.
I rolled a 2 with the other one, and I rolled a 20 with his other dice.
Where'd my bag go?
I don't know.
So we're sharing dice this time?
I don't. I forgot mine because I'm dumb. I'm dumb.
I rolled a 13.
Alright, so it'll be Skull, Fenris, Taurus. These are my spare pencils.
Did you also have this one?
No, I rolled a really low on that one too.
Middle one?
Yeah, the middle one it was. No, it's not that bad.
You rolled like a 7 the first time. Wasn't that bad.
Alright,
It was
so,
kinda bad.
Skull. You went to sleep in your hole, presumably using your door to cover up.
I'm gonna assume this is gonna be my home for a while, so like, is like there any straw I can put in the bottom of it to make it a little bit more comfortable?
At the moment, no. But
This is a roll down dice.
Yeah.
Yep.
It doesn't roll the same.
It's for
Oh,
magic.
really?
No, they don't. They have their numbers are in different spots, so technically it rolls different.
at the
mean,
moment,
you still
there
have
is
the
no
same
straw in
chances.
sight,
Yeah.
but I will say that there is one room you haven't seen yet. And you will find straw in this room.
I was like, this one always rolls shitty.
So for this night at least, you will not have straw.
Yeah, that's fine.
But suddenly you wake up and you are no longer outside under the night sky. You are in fact in a bizarre looking room.
I didn't ask for this.
How bizarro.
It's my door.
Your door is nowhere in sight.
I start panicking.
Describe the room first.
My door is gone!
Fine, you panic as I describe the room.
That's fine.
In this room, it's very big, very circular, and there is, well, most noticeably, up in the like, hovering in the center of the room, up above, there's this giant clock, and you can already tell by just looking at it, it's not just telling time. It seems to also be telling the day, the hour, the days, the hours, the weeks, the months. It seems to be keeping track of so much more than just time.
What millennia is it?
Intelligence check.
Oh, shit. Ooh, 14 plus 4, 18.
You have 18 intelligence?
I do. That's why I wanted to go into a magic roll of some sort.
There I am with poopy old standard array.
Yeah, and you're using an intelligence class.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a 16 that I put into my strength because I'm half orc. It got bumped up to 18, and then I had an 18 that I put into my intelligence.
Could have 20 strength.
The 9,000.
I could have actually.
The 9,000 millennium.
It's a what?
9,000.
It's 9,000th the millennium?
Dang.
It's a very even
But-
number. That doesn't happen very often. Happens every
I mean-
1,000 millennia.
How long has this room been here? If
But
Apparently
aside from that,
9,000 millennia.
You also see this very large, very expansive desk in front of you. It's got all.
Does it have a bell?
There's all sorts of.
Sorry, I
You
have a
just wanna
history with
flatten another
bells.
bell. There's all sorts of beakers and some sort of machineries and parts and tools and equipment of all kinds. There's some paperwork, books, and all sorts of things scattered across this desk.
Are you done with it?
Yeah.
No,
So that's just like just right on the bottom. That's just too much.
Just throw it in the freezer then, for now. Don't throw it away. It's perfectly good ice cream, you... you disgust me.
So yeah, you see this desk full of many various objects. It's some. Sort
I bought it, damn it.
It's clearly some sort of workstation. You want to take a closer look?
Yes. I would love to take a look.
Upon getting closer to the workstation, you can tell that 3 pieces of paper sort of just stand out. Is it 3? Yes, it is 3. And when just looking at them, one says at the top, Clockwork Toy. Another one says Fire Starter, and the third one says Music Box. And it seems like each of these pieces of paper show instructions on how to build these small mechanical things. And upon looking at this desk, you can see what should be everything you would need to start working on one should you choose to.
I'm going to examine the clockwork toy.
Alright. Skull is going to begin working on the clockwork toy. We'll then shift over to Fenris. You were in one of the bedrooms went for the night, but you suddenly wake up and you're outside.
what the fuck? We switched places.
You're surrounded by trees, and you can see the night sky in patches of the leaves up above, but you aren't there alone. There is this nice warm campfire nearby, and there seems to be someone in their own sleeping bag on the other side of the campfire with you. This is a very familiar sight to you. After all, you and your father have been traveling for many years now, and this is just another night for you.
So it's my dad?
Of course, who else would it be?
One guy.
I want to
It's only,
sit next to him.
Okay.
it's only wired for that one.
He seems to be sleeping at the moment. You know he's had a long day of work. He's just been wanting to get some shut-eye.
Do I notice anything else around? There's just like the fire.
You got the roaring fire. You can hear the sounds of nature, the birds. There's some owls hooting, and just it's rather quiet. But there are the crickets chirping and other such sounds of wildlife. You feel very comfortable. It's just another night with your dad.
And the cats in the cradle and the silver spoons. I don't know, nobody knows that. Alright.
I
Yeah.
know it. I got your reference.
It's classic.
Alright.
It's not that.
Uh,
Well, yeah, no, it's classic.
It is,
It-
yes.
It is.
I want to wake my dad.
Daddy!
Yeah.
Daddy, wake up. I missed you.
You go over to reach towards him, and now we're going to transition to a horse.
I was ready to put the salt in the sand or something.
For Taurus, you also decide to spend the night in one of the bedrooms. And you wake up in the middle of the night, and suddenly you are no longer in the bedroom. You are in a dark tunnel. Your feet are in water. It's very dark, but you've got dark vision. You can see clearly. You feel as though you are walking through a sewer.
Oh shit, I'm home. Guess that was all a dream.
I guess so.
Let's go see my master since I'm back.
I'm home.
You've traveled these sewers enough. You begin taking the path towards your place of stay. Anything you want to do as you're walking along? Just
As I look for where as I have not this very well fleshed out. Do I just have like a little part of the sewer that I usually sleep in, or do I just kind of pick a random spot and sleep in it?
you had established a certain clearing at one point, as it was much drier and more comfortable, if you will.
Less rats.
But you do eventually get back to your little hole in the world, and your sensei currently is not there. It's still very dark, but unless you choose to ignite some sort of light source.
I mean, I have dark vision, so not really necessary for me. Did my sensei live in a
brain freeze.
like a more of a structured building, or did he live in a little hovel also?
You two kind of just slept wherever. You just, sometimes he would go off on his own for a few weeks at a time, but you almost always reunited, at least monthly. He had to make sure you were well fed, but as you were waiting around, we would transition back to Skull.
Who's this eraser?
Skull, you are currently working on the clockwork toy.
Yeah. Yeah.
The instructions inform you could make some sort of small animal, monster, or person, such as a frog, a mouse, a bird, a dragon, or a soldier.
A dragon?
Yes.
A pseudo dragon?
Just like the things you heard in the legends. You can make some sort of dragon.
What?
Now, based on the picture,
so cute.
it looks like the finished product would fit in the size of your hand.
That's even cuter. Could it fly?
You're not sure. You'd have to make it.
Dude, a tiny dragon? Like, oh, fucking cute. Ah, dude, I'm totally not playing up my manly orc, man. Damn.
So as you begin working away towards...
You did
Dragons
prefer
are
a
manly,
cat.
right?
You did also just like lay down and befriend a cat for like 2 hours. So.
That was me, not him, though. That's
But
a
you
me
played it
problem.
as him.
I know, I'm the worst.
Yep. But yeah, you start working on this, and go ahead and make a perception check.
Perception? That's
Yeah.
not good. Book. 17.
Quite perceptive today.
I rolled something above a 5, so yes.
You're working on it. It looks like you're getting about halfway done, and suddenly you start hearing noises echoing throughout this room. Little scuttling sounds.
I look.
As you turn to look towards the sound, you actually hear something fall onto the desk.
I look.
You see a blue severed hand on the desk.
Where's my door?
Your door is nowhere to be found.
Is there any like tool available I can whap it with?
There are the hammers and those such devices on the table.
And I grab a hammer and I whap the hand. Listen, you threw hands at us already once before. Have a traumatization towards them.
I know. As you whack the hands, you suddenly start hearing the scuttling sound grow louder and louder.
I'm having a bad trip.
And as you look around the room, you can see they're quite literally, they're figuratively and literally crawling their way out of the woodwork. And they're swarming around you.
Is there any way to run away to?
There does not appear to be a door in sight.
Ah! I'm gonna start raging and attack. Because I don't know what else to do in this situation.
Skull starts raging as hands are everywhere. Back to Fenris.
This is terrible.
You are reaching out to awaken your father. Make a perception check.
Oh, Jesus.
Having a bad time, bruh.
13.
As you're about to lay your hand on his shoulder, you can suddenly hear a cackling sound out in the distance. This sound is rather familiar to you. There are hyenas nearby.
To be fair, they kicked your ass.
Do I have my bow and stuff? Do I have my weapons on me?
Aren't you a young boy right now?
You do have a bow, but it is not your current bow. It is a much older bow, one you used when you were a child.
So is he currently a child? Or is he his adult self?
Is he? Can he view himself?
I haven't looked. I'm more concerned about the cackling. So, I'm going to ready my bow, but I'm still going to try to rouse my father, but more vocally. I'm just going to be like, Dad, wake up!
Kick him in the head.
You start yelling for your dad to wake up, and there's no sign from him. The noises around you are getting louder and louder. There's definitely more than one out there.
Can I pinpoint any locations of them?
So far, it seems to be mostly in your north direction, but they are like starting to fan out to the east and west sides of you.
Yeah, I'm gonna kick my dad.
You kick your father, and he rolls over. Do you look at him?
Yeah.
When he rolls over, you can see the mummified remains of your father laying there in the campgrounds.
Oh, dang.
Oh
That was
no.
close.
His mouth is ajar, his eyes are wide, and his hands across his chest.
Dead as fuck.
So the real question is, was his father tall like him, or is his father very tall?
Savage.
We all have height complexes, okay? Like, fuck off.
I think it'd be funnier if your dad was really tall.
I was just
You're
gonna go with
bending
that.
down to the root of the problem.
Your dad was a proud 6 feet tall.
Oh no. His mom's fault.
And at this point, you can start seeing the hyenas come out from the darkness and into the light of the campfire.
The hyenas.
Hyenas.
Do I notice anything else around my dad? Like, is his journal there?
You can look.
Yeah, I'll look.
You ignore the threat and start driving through your dead father's remains to look for a book. He's spoken of a journal before. You do eventually find the book. It looks the same as the one you carry around with you.
How close are the hyenas?
They're starting to get closer to you now. They are within 60 feet. They look all like they're ready to pounce, and they're slowly moving their way towards you.
Alright.
There's at least 10 of them now.
Oh, Jesus. But they're all, like, semi in front of me towards the north?
They're attempting to surround you, but...
Alright, I'm gonna run towards the woods.
But you're in the woods.
Well, I'm gonna run towards, like, cover in the trees. I want to try to run to a tree on, like, the edge of our little camp area and attempt to climb up it.
Alright, as you start running toward the tree, a hyena jumps out from the darkness that you hadn't seen.
You're going to try and defend your father's corpse?
And
He dead.
and attempts to prevent you from climbing the tree.
Do I have my hand axes?
You do have hand axes on
Alright, I want to hit it with a hand axe.
you. Okay, try and make your hit then.
Jesus. I'm gonna die in this dream, guys. Oh, fuck.
That's never a good sound.
7.
It's a nice swing and a miss. And now there are 2 right next to you as another one appears around the tree. And you are definitely surrounded at this point, with the 2 in front of you and the 10 more behind you. We now transition over to retorts. You've been sitting in the darkness for a while. Your sensei has yet to come.
Sensei.
Please make a perception check.
Where's Sensei Samakun?
That's a 15.
In the distance, down the tunnels, you can hear voices echoing, crying out in pain for help.
Some bitch, you know what my character wants to be. So you're doing this on purpose. Alright, I rush towards the cry for help, as I want to be a mighty hero man.
Mighty hero man.
Alright, as you start approaching the sounds,
Am I covered right now like I usually am, or am I bare?
is that how you would have presented yourself when you were in the sewers? Would you have
That's, I
been
don't
covered?
know, actually. I imagine if I was in the sewers, I'd probably at least take off my mask. I don't know if I would have even thought at the moment to put on my mask.
Then at the moment you would not be wearing a mask as you run into the, not night, but into the dark. The water is splashing when you are attempting to find the source of the sound. Eventually you round a corner in one of the sewers, and before you, your vision allows you to see many small little wooden men. Some of them are missing limbs, some have their chests ripped open, one is missing a head.
It's haunting you, man. It's haunting you.
And they're all crying out, please, please, help me.
I look for the source of their distress. I see myself.
Oh no.
Do I see the source of the distress?
No, they're just all badly injured and just moving towards you as best they can. Crying out, please, please, help us.
I guess I call out, what's the cause of your distress?
You are. Please don't hurt us anymore.
Is it okay? Turn around and leave.
As you turn around, you see more of them coming from the two directions of the previous sewer path you were in. They are starting to surround you.
I activate Blight Song.
Oh, man.
Well,
That increases my movement and my armor class, so don't give a shit about it.
they weren't close enough yet to be hit by that, as that's a 5-foot range, right?
No, it's not. That's just buffing myself.
Oh, right.
That's not, you're thinking of Blade Burst.
That, okay. You buff yourself, and they're ever more crying out for help. We go back to Skull, who's surrounded by hands.
Having a bad time, man.
Strange. As you are whacking away at the hands, trying to get as many of them dead again as you can,
Yup.
many of them are jumping and lashing on you, trying to hold you down. But more than that, you start seeing a bunch more just start cultivating together. And instead of just forming together like you previously saw, they like start merging into each other and forming some sort of other being. At first, there are feet, and then it grows legs, a torso, a chest, arms, and finally a head. This figure stands. Must be over 15 feet tall, and it has a familiar shape to you. It is the Ghast. But this time it is not missing its eyes, for it can see you clearly now. And once its body is fully shaped, it lets out a harrowing scream in your direction. The room is filled with hands. They're holding you down, and this creature is standing the size of a giant over you. It swoops down and grabs you with one of its hands and lifts you up towards it.
I'm gonna cry.
Fair enough. We now transition back over to Fenris. You are currently surrounded by hyenas. At least 12 in sight, and you can hear sounds of more in the distance.
I'm going to use thaumaturgy to create a loud roaring sound to try to frighten them.
Alright.
What a clever use of ability.
As you let out your roar, you see some of them stop. But as they do, an even larger hyena appears from behind one of the trees. It towers above you at 6 feet high. You short little man.
No!
It moves its way up towards you and says, "You think I fear you?"
Oh man, it talked. That's never good.
And now you notice the rest of the pack has started to advance again. They are surrounded. You are completely surrounded. They are ready to pounce.
How far is the big one?
It's right up in your face.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Cool, I'm gonna hit it right in the eye with my fucking hand axe.
Go ahead and try.
Come on. That was a way better roll. 17.
Roll damage for the fun of it.
7.
You give it a nice clean cut across the face. You see a scar appear above it. But as it does, it just kind of cackles at you. Is that the best you got?
Maybe.
I look him dead in the eyes and I just say, "You're about to find out." I'm gonna fight this dude.
We go
I'm gonna
back
fight
to
all these dudes and get ripped apart.
We go back to Retoris. The small little twig beings are ever closer to you now. They're holding out what limbs they can, reaching for you.
I say this is your only warning. Step back now.
But you must help us. Make the pain go away.
Kill them.
Very well.
Oh man, he's about to.
So I'll attack the nearest one to me with green flame blade.
Alright. Make it a hit.
17 plus 5. So that's D6 plus 3. So that's 8 damage. And then my spell modifier attacks another one.
As you do, the two that you hit, they start screeching out in pain. And then the rest of the group, they all, in unison, also screech out in a wailing sound, a deafening sound as it fills up the sewers. It is very hard to hear at this moment. The echoing is so loud, you can feel your eardrums begin to burst as it's starting to rupture.
Ow. It's not a good feeling.
Anything happen after that?
No, the sound continues to go on.
Can I attack again?
You can try.
I'll try. Probably 12.
You are able to hit another one.
Green flame blade again. So that's 4, and then another 4 to another one.
Two more burst into flames, and it seems the sound gets ever louder, and you notice below your feet a mouth starts to open below you, and you start to fall in. And as we transition back to Skull, the
It's
giant
okay, we don't have to.
gas lifts you towards its mouth, its jaw open wide, the tongue wraps around you, and it begins to put you in its mouth and swallow. As for Fenris, the smaller ones pounce towards you. They latch on with their teeth, holding you down,
There's still more.
and the big one comes in to eat you whole.
On the
Sweet.
other side of this. Right in the front.
Before you all face the death before you, you can make another perception check.
Is it absorbed in?
What are we
All this
doing?
Perception.
Well,
I'm a little preoccupied.
You did better than me.
Oh, dear God. I don't know, what's your perception?
It's a +3.
Oh,
So
yeah, I did
I-
better than you by 1.
I got a 5.
I got a 6.
Unfortunately, no one saw this as you are all being devoured.
I saw a giant mouth.
Listen, it licked me, and that's weird. I lick things. Things don't lick me. It's
Lick
different.
it back. Lick its tongue.
I'd be too panicked, but I want to. God, I want to.
As you're all devoured, you enter the darkness again. And once again, you all wake up. Going
I'm
back.
sweating.
Skull. First, you wake up. You are no longer outside. You are, in fact, back in the tower inside of one of the laboratories.
I start screaming bloody murder.
As you do, you instantly notice that next to you, there is the Blight Climb. He suddenly is startled by your sudden screaming.
Oh, Climb's here! Oh, I like
that'd be kind of muffled behind the door, wouldn't it?
They're in the same room.
No.
No, the
I
metal
got
door
transported
that
to
he
another
sleeps
area.
under.
So I'm no longer in a hole covered up by my door.
So yes, you were screaming. He seems startled, and as you now look around the lab, I don't know how long.
Where's my
that's
door?
screaming. Door is currently not here, but before you run off, the things you see before you see Climb sitting in the same room next to you. You see on the table in front of you, there's the puddle of drool that you let out as your head was laying on the desk. There also seems to be a half-finished mechanical device. And there is a small cup of tea.
I smell the tea.
It smells fresh, but it's definitely gone cold at this point. What kind of flavors of tea are there? I can't
Mint! I love mint tea.
Mint tea.
Hell yeah. That helps with tummy aches, by the way.
So I'm just going to say without
Pay
thinking
attention,
about it, my
listeners.
character who was sleeping with his mask off ran in to see what was wrong with Skull.
Not at you yet.
Wait your turn.
No.
But we will,
I woke up first.
but we will transition
I'm
to the next
next.
person.
Am
Fenris.
I outside?
Yes, you are.
Do I
in
see
my
the
hole.
tower?
You wake up.
The door's over me. I'm like, huh?
this happen?
You were laying on the ground outside. The sun is beaming on your face. You can feel the wet grass around you.
I'm gonna jump up and draw my hand axes
You
and
jump up,
look
You
around.
draw your hand axes. You look around. You notice you are on the edge of the forest. You can see Bashir's tower roughly an hour's walk away.
Jesus.
Fuck, where the hell am I?
You're in the fucking tower sewer.
Did I hear Skull scream?
You might have.
How far would that scream travel?
That's
I
gotta be
don't
a
know.
Constitution roll.
Constitution.
Yeah, because how loud are you?
Oh, that'd be my Constitution roll versus his perception.
Yes.
Sure. Let's see if you heard.
Let's see.
Skull
Let's see
scream.
how loud I was. Not terribly loud, I guess, from that distance. 9.
14.
I don't think it was Skull screaming that woke you up. Probably the whole hyena killing you thing.
I mean, yeah.
But from this
So
distance,
I don't see any hyenas though.
there seems to be no
Wanna go
beasts
outside?
nearby. You do notice for the first time,
Here, I got it.
you can see the town of Ayapo. It's several miles off in the distance, but you can see the tree is blooming bright pink flower blossoms.
There's a squirrel in our yard.
You hadn't quite noticed this before, as the first time you entered the town was night, and when you woke up, you were in the shade.
Do I notice anything else in my immediate surroundings that stands out to me?
There doesn't seem to be much, just somehow you were on the edge of the forest. That's weird.
Yeah.
It looks like it'll be quite a walk back to the tower.
Yeah. I guess I'll start walking back to the tower.
Now we go to Retoris. You wake up. You are no longer in the bedroom, but you didn't travel very far, as you are in the center of the battle arena, lying on the ground. You were able to hear Skull scream as he has a story above you.
I rush in to see what's wrong.
You rush upstairs to head into the room, and upon entering, you see Skull sitting at one of the lab desks. Climb is in there as well. Skull, Retoris just rushed into the room you're at.
I'm mid-sip. I'm trying the tea.
I say, what's wrong? This gets your attention.
He just continues to sip the tea.
And I'm also not wearing my mask.
He's static, man. He's seen some shit.
I think I take you by surprise at least.
No.
Sure.
No, he's not. It's not so much that it's something different. It's that he's literally not even looking or paying attention to you.
Alright, I'll advance.
Stoic, man. Like, traumatized stoic.
I calmly put my hand on the side of your shoulder. So on the top
Freaks
of
the fuck out. A hand just touched me. He throws his tea up and scrambles to a wall backwards.
As your tea flies into the air, you can see Climb get up. He kind of raises a hand towards it and just lowers his hand back down.
I say, what's the matter?
He just kind of looks around, super spooked. Still not quite understanding and trying to grasp what reality is anymore. And then he notices you. And he just is confused. He just tilts his head like, huh? Like a dog, a confused dog.
I say, what?
As this is the first time Skull seeing your face, would you like to describe it?
Doesn't look like this.
Oh, yeah,
You a handsome boy, too.
Yeah, I am very handsome. But no, from here up, I basically look like an elf just with sage green skin and slightly shorter than normal ears. And then from the lower half of it, my jaw juts out with small tusks. So very obvious half-orc.
Skull, I know, I said it already. Skull just points to his little tusks.
And I kind of do that and like, oh.
I'm an orc.
The two of you also hear a surprise of Mundy out somewhere outside the tower.
Close this dream.
As he's... I'll describe it. It shows up.
We're just gonna assume he had to take some time to himself after his dream.
Fair enough.
As Mundy hasn't really expressed being too aggressive, or he just kind of has this surprised sound come out of him.
I was really hoping this book would actually tell me what's inside a tinkerer's kit, but it doesn't.
Nope.
Helpful.
Probably
Yeah,
a
I'll
bunch of,
just,
like, screwdrivers and shit. I don't know.
Smith's kit.
I'll just briefly explain to our friend Skull here that I am a half elf, half orc, and my kind is not looked upon favorably anywhere. So that's why I keep my face covered.
He just points to him and says, orc.
So you're just orc? That explains a few things.
Except the odd shade of his skin. It's unusually pale.
He's dirty, though. So it's not as easily noticed, but he does certainly look a little bit off-tinted for an orc.
Somehow
I think my skin
took
is
a bath.
darker than yours.
Oh, dude, that's possible. Like, I just teleported. I could be clean. I don't know.
Do you notice how handsome I am?
I'm very handsome. Let's see how handsome. Am I upset, or rather challenged by your handsomeness? Oh, shit! Nah. I'm pretty confident with myself.
You're just like, you're an 8, I'm a 10. We're fine.
I rolled a 20. I'm rocking a solid 20 for how I think I am. It's like, nah, you ain't a challenge, thanks. We good.
Cool beans.
So now the only one who doesn't know what I am is Monday.
Yep. One of these days he'll find out.
One of these days.
So, what do you guys want to do now?
I guess I can experience a little bit of freedom in the house since the Needlebites probably don't care, and the other 2 members of the party know about it already. He's probably feeling pretty good. Having to cover his face for once.
Orc.
I'm just confused. I'm still like looking around everywhere on my walk back to the tower, just like, what the fuck happened? Do I see like my footprints leading to where I was?
Oh yeah, you can see those.
So I walked here. Like what? What?
I will ask your character if you had a dream too.
At that point, I realize my door is missing, and I go run to where my door was last.
Victoria, speaking of which, you did see some like muddy footprints coming from the outside of the tower towards the inside of the tower, going towards the stairs. But they kind of pittered out and once you were like halfway up the stairs.
Are they skull sized?
You'd probably think they were orcs' feet.
I gotta go find my door! I quickly rush to the garden.
I walked out.
You get out to the garden, there's this large sheet of metal sitting out.
I quickly grab it and hug it and pet it and love it. My door. It has been returned to me.
If it had hands, it might hug you back.
I will love this door. This is forever my door. My sweet, beautiful, undead killing door.
So with the amount of love and attention, will this door shield eventually become sentient?
Does this door, like, return my affection?
Anything is possible with time.
One day I'm gonna craft this door to a creature that can love me.
It's a little creepy.
It'll still be able to transform back into a door, though.
Hell yeah.
Transformers.
Doors in disguise.
So as you ran outside, you can see Finra is off in the distance.
I don't care, I'm petting my door. Like, no, you don't understand. I've been very attached to this door, and this is the first time I've gone extended period without it. I'm very rustled.
All half a night.
My jimmies are rustled. You know what helped me against all those undead things? My door. You know what I didn't have? My door.
I know.
That's the question. Did I have my... whenever I was attacking him, did I have my scimitar, or was it something else?
No, you had a long sword.
Yeah. Well, then I wouldn't have been using a D6.
Oh well. I don't think you were hurting anything.
Probably not. Oh, the person flying.
It was a dream, man.
If I was one level higher, I wouldn't be 100 wave on him. Would have been funny seeing all the little bodies crash past each other.
You're a monster!
Go on.
What am I supposed to go on about? It's up to you guys on what you do next.
I mean, I assume I'm still walking back to the tower. How far away am I?
Apparently I saw you.
I guess since Skull rushed out of the room, I'll look at the odd clockwork instruction that is on the table.
Kind of looks like if you had to guess, kind of like some sort of a lizard creature.
Throw gun.
Can I discern if it has any kind of functionality or if it's too basic?
Try an Arcana check.
That's a natural 20.